Welcome to the Fatherhood Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Pluff. Each week, we will cover various topics that dads struggle with in their fitness journey. I'll give you actionable steps that you can apply right away, not only to take back control of your own health, but so you're able to be a better example for your kids too. All right, welcome in. Today, we're going to be talking about whether or not walking is a great form of exercise. Now, if you've been following the podcast for a while, or you've been following me on social media at all, then you probably already know my answer to this. Yes, of course, I believe walking is a great form of exercise. It's the easiest entry to exercise for most people, right? It has the lowest barrier of entry, right? And the reason why this is a topic today is because earlier this week there was a clip of Ed Milet and Dr. Gabrielle Lyon talking about exercise on where this started, that how walking is an exercise. And it caused a bunch of controversy in the health and fitness world. And obviously people overreacted a little bit to it. And I didn't see the entire talk, but I got the gist of it. And I understand where they're coming from. And I understand the arguments of it. And so if you're not familiar, Gabrielle Lyon, she's a board certified physician, very well known, huge following on Instagram, a great follow as well. And then Ed Milet, entrepreneur, best-selling author of the book, The Power of One More, actually one of my favorite books. I really enjoy it. And the clip itself, I think got taken out of context there. But what they did say, I think could be discouraging for people, and for other people, it's exactly what they want to hear. And so what they said is that walking itself isn't exercise. And they were kind of discussing where did we get this idea from? Where did we get the idea that walking is exercise and that it doesn't count. Obviously, I disagree with that. Walking is a great form of exercise, but where I do agree with them, where I believe they were trying to say, what they were trying to get across, is that if walking is your only form of exercise, then I think it cannot be so great for you, right? And so what I mean by that is, take somebody who is, let's say you're a delivery driver, right? You're in a truck all day, but you're getting out, you're making deliveries to each house, and you're already hitting around 10,000 steps a day. Or maybe you're a mailman, right? You work for the postal service, and so you're walking around the neighborhood all day. When you get home and you have to go for a workout, going for a walk isn't going to be very beneficial for you, right? And so in that case, obviously strength training is going to be more beneficial. Now, take somebody who sits at a desk all day. They're averaging 2,000 to 3,000 steps a day. And if you think like 2,000 to 3,000 steps a day, that's extremely low. That's honestly what most people get, is 2,000 to 3,000 steps a day, especially if you work from home. It can be very difficult to get 10,000 steps a day. So for that individual, going for a walk is going to be a great form of exercise, because it's going to improve your life so much, right? You're going to get so much more activity in. You're going to get outside more. You're going to be in the sun more. You're going to get fresh air more. And so for that individual, going for a walk is going to be a great form of exercise. For somebody who likes to compete in half marathons or marathons, going for a walk probably isn't a great form of exercise. Could it be beneficial? Absolutely. They are putting tons and tons of miles on their body. And so doing some, light forms of cardio, doing some light walks, very low impact, is going to be great. Now, for everybody, shooting for 7,500 to 10,000 steps a day should be the goal. And so if you are struggling to get enough movement in, yes, going for a walk is going to be crucial, and it is going to be a great form of exercise. But what we don't want to get caught up in is just doing walking as exercise. And so the way I program my clients is, the majority of them, we try and get them to 3 workouts a week. Now, for some, we start at 1 to 2. For somebody who has never worked out before, working out 3 times a week consistently can be very, very difficult. Now, why I don't like programming 1 workout of a week, because it's so easy to not make it a habit, right? Think about if you were like learning the guitar, right? You were playing the guitar, you started taking some lessons, or you were following a course online or something like that, and you played it once, and then you put your guitar away, and you got it out again the next week, and you're only going to do one lesson a week. It's really easy to just skip that next lesson, right? Because you're not thinking about it. It's not become a part of you. Now, if you were playing the guitar and you started practicing every day or every other day, it's much easier to get into a routine there, right? The same thing goes for exercise. That's why I shoot for 3 workouts a week, right? On those 3 workouts, we schedule them, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, ideally, things like that every other day, because then it become a habit. You can start to exercise, you can take a rest day as needed, and then you get back into it, right? But on those rest days, my clients aren't just sitting around, right? We're doing something, right? We're trying to hit that step goal. So for some people, if they don't have an active job, if they don't have a super active lifestyle, then they have to go on a walk to hit that step goal, right? They have to get up a little bit early to go for a walk. They have to find some time in the evening to push their kids in the wagon or in the stroller going around the neighborhood to hit that step goal, because it's challenging, but it's not impossible, right? And so that's ideally where most people probably should be. 2 to 3 strength training workouts a week, and then every day hitting a step goal. And on those days off, ideally, those days off you're not in the gym, you're doing some form of a little higher intensity cardio. For a lot of people, if you've been working out regularly for years, if you've been strength training, if you've been in the gym consistently for a long period of time, then going for a walk isn't going to challenge you much. You are still going to get the benefits of being outside. You are still going to get the benefits of movement, but it's not going to challenge your cardiovascular system. And cardio is incredible for your heart. It's incredible for your body. It's going to help you feel better. It's going to help you sleep better. And so it's important that you include that in your life. Now, if you're just starting to work out, then walking is going to be a great cardio exercise for you. For everybody, walking is a great tool, right? But after a while, eventually you have to continue to challenge yourself. And so then you can add things like maybe you could jog, right? If you want something lower impact, you could do an elliptical, you could do a bike, things like that. Riding your bike to the library, riding your bike to the store if you just have a few items to get, and things like that. And so it doesn't have to be a lot. But for some people, exercise is going to be, or sorry, I misspoke there. Walking is going to be their number one form of exercise right now. Eventually, we'd like to progress, right? Eventually, we'd like to continue to add strength training on. We'd like to add a little higher intensity cardio sessions every once in a while. But walking itself is fantastic. I love my morning walks. I wake up early and try and get some things done, and then I go for a walk in the morning. A lot of times before the sun is up, definitely before the kids are up, and then I just have some time to myself. And in the evenings, we'll go for walks with our kids. We take turns. Sometimes I'll take my son, and my wife will take the girls, and they'll go for a walk, and we'll meet halfway or something. We'll go opposite direction to meet halfway. Other times I'll take the girls, and she'll take my son. We'll switch it up, and it's great because one, we're getting some movement, and we're teaching our kids that it's important that exercise is a part of our life. This is what we do. This is our bodies are meant to move. We feel better when we're being active. And it's also a great way to connect with your kids as well, kind of have that one-on-one that one-on-one time with them where they can just kind of talk about whatever they want, which is awesome. Because a lot of times if they're with their siblings, obviously you get to know them, they have their personality and stuff, but it's not quite the same as when they're by themselves. And so that's a great time for me to be able to bond with the kids and just let them talk, and me listen, and just kind of hear what's on their heart and what they want to talk about. But this is going to be a shorter episode here. I thought this was a really important topic because there is a lot of controversy around it, which I don't think there needs to be. I think both sides are definitely correct, right? Walking for some people is not a great form of exercise because it's not challenging them, but for a lot of people, that's a great way to start. We live in a society, unfortunately, where um, a large portion of our population is obese, and that is very detrimental to your health. It's detrimental to your family, right? If you're not healthy, there's a great chance that your kids will not be healthy. And so a great way to start exercising regularly is to walk. And so if somebody tells you walking isn't exercise, walking isn't a great form of exercise, just kindly let them know that we all have, different starting points. And although it may not be, a great form of exercise for them, that's going to challenge them, that may be exactly where you need to start.
That concludes this episode of the Fatherhood Fitness Podcast. Thank you for those of you who took time out of your busy schedules to listen. If you have any questions or comments or an idea for a topic for a future episode, please feel free to reach out, and I'd love to hear from you.